Alright, what's up guys? We are live here with some Russian Fishing for English version gameplay. We are at the Winding Rivulet. And I need to eat to start with. I bought a bunch of loaves of bread. I think all mine are good right now. Eat a couple of these. And then, yep, hunger's good for a while. We're going to make our way across the bridge here. Seeing how I'm only level 10 and a half, we need to go past, I think it's Beaver Island over here to the right and to the Damned Valley. So there's Beaver's Island over there. And down here behind these trees, we will have the Damned Valley, which we are in now. And I'll be using 3 different rods. I'll be using the Soviet-Russian bamboo rod, the telestick, and a feeder rod. And it seems that usually I get my best fishing with the 2 smaller rods, like this one here being the bamboo rod. Go ahead and set our leader depth to about 45 centimeters. Back up a hair, that way I can put it in the ground. Set that rod down. What's up, Ramek? Get our other rod out here. Set that leader depth too. Not too far. Alright, bait. What do we want on it? Let's try maggots on this one. Get that rod out in the water. Get it placed down. Move over a little bit, get our feeder out. There's our feeder. What do we got on that one? Bait. Let's try bloodworms on this one. And we'll cast this one out. Set the reel. Drop it down, and now we're pretty much good to go. Gonna stand here and watch our rods. See, we're getting a little action here on this one. Let's go ahead and pick this one up here. And sometimes it'll do that. See what we can do here. I think that one might have got screwed because it jumped. But we got something going here on the other rod. Bring it in. The first fish of the day is going to be a gibble carp. That about right there. Back down. That one might be a little too close to the shore to do anything with. So our Soviet Union bamboo rod. We've got our Express Fishing telestick, and then the Sorrento. Frost advisory, nice. Basically, we're waiting to listen for the bells on the feeder rod to go off, and I'm pretty sure that that one's not going to do anything. Oh, just as I say that, I'm wrong. See if we can catch something off of this. Can be a little bit tricky sometimes. The telestick's a lot trickier than the bamboo. Usually if you get something on the bamboo, you're golden. The telestick, on the other hand, a lot of times you'll yank it right out of the fish's mouth. Patiently wait here. If something gets on that telestick, I'll let that go. Like right now, we do have something on this bamboo rod, but we'll see. Oh, we got him. So we got a nice 144 gram tench. And we got something going after our telestick. We'll go ahead and get that rod pulled up. Of course, I gotta let this one do a little bit more work than the standard one. See my feeder line starting to move a little bit. Something's on the feeder line, but it's not strong enough to pull it yet. Now, you do have to be very careful because like the wind blowing will move your bobbers and everything, but that line has moved from where it was at. I'm almost a little bit curious here to switch. Oh, there's definitely something on that. It's a dinky fish, but let's see what we got. we got us a bait fish right there, a little Chinese sleeper. Now the funny part was the first 4 or 5 times I threw the feeder out, I forgot to close the bell on the rod, which is probably the biggest rookie mistake ever. I'm also going to turn up the sounds here for the game, that way it's not stupid quiet. But yeah, the first 4 times leaving the bell open was probably the biggest mistake ever, because when I did get a fish on, I'm lucky he didn't run me all the way out. We're getting a little action here on the telestick though, so take a look at that and see what's going on here. And we got something that's pulling in a little bit of a fight. We have 351 gram tench, so that'll work. Reset it again. Now the dough balls seems to really only pull in the same species of fish. Now usually you can either fish at where I've been at for the longest time, Mosquito Lake, which is the starting lake. It got to the point where I really was not getting any XP for any of that, so I stopped and then decided to go to Winding Rivulet here. Keep looking. Now Winding Rivulet, there's a couple places that I can kind of fish decent here, but the Dam Valley right here, this is kind of the best spot for what gear I've got right now to fish with. Bring in another gibble carp. And we definitely had something there on the bamboo pole. We definitely still do. Just gonna have to see here. Wasn't anything big, but I have had the line break on this quite a few times. Oh, feeder rod's going off.
Gendrix was moved out of your channel. Gendrix was moved to your channel.
That'll be Alan moving around. Let's see what we get up here. This looks like a tench. Nope, Chinese sleeper, nice. Let's try down this way. Let's get a good cast out this time. Set that pole down. Zoom in, see what's going on with the other poles. Looks like we're gonna have the most action out of the telestick. Just moving it around. Come on. Now the goal here is to try and get to level 12 so I can get to the next lake. Don't play with your food. Be a nice fish. Take it. And our feeder's going off again, so we have to pick that up. See what we get off of this one. It's like another Chinese sleeper. Yep. So we do down this way. Long cast. We definitely have something on that bamboo pole, so we're going to try and grab them. Oh, we got her. It's a gibble carp. Get that off, back in the water. And back over to our telestick. Oh, see what I mean? Sometimes you can jerk the hook in the bait out of the fish's mouth. Should have waited just a little bit longer for that one. And we've got something on our bamboo. And I pulled it out. I'm good at doing that. So we got our feeder over there. Our two static line poles here. And it looks like we're getting action on our telestick again. And we're also getting action on the bamboo rod. The problem is sometimes, or actually a lot of times with the bamboo, if it's out far enough, it'll actually, even if you're not trying to, it'll go spaghetti line sometimes on you. So we know we've got something interested on this pole here. I'm gonna try. Oh, we got him. Wow, he's actually oh, this is a good sized fish right here. Wow. That is a pretty good sized fish right there. A 1.191 kilogram tench. That's a good fish. Thought I heard the feeder rod going off. I do. You got something on that feeder. Probably nothing big, but we do have something on the feeder. Probably another, yep, Chinese sleeper. Let's try night crawlers. We definitely have something on the bamboo pole here. $446 gram gibble. I'll take that. We've already got something messing around with our telestick. And already with our bamboo. Just worried that once I grab the bamboo, it's gonna ricochet. We're definitely getting more action off of the bamboo here right now. Darn it. I really want to grab it, but I'm worried that it's gonna rock it, so. Oh, there's something on it. Definitely something playing with it. Action on both poles, but finally we're going to reel something in with this. Probably another gibble. Yep. Drop that back down. Yeah, I just saw our bobber was completely underwater on this one. And we got something playing on it, so we're going to pull him in too. Another gibble, so I'm going to start losing XP and money on these because I'm catching the same type of fish over and over again. Which basically means I need to switch up baits. But we're working our way towards level 11. I don't see anything on the feeder rod right now that would make me stop everything and... Oh, there is something playing with it. Right as I stepped at it, so let's go. See what we got here on the end here with a night crawler. Doesn't look like he's too small. And we've got another Chinese sleeper. Let's try over this way. Set the feeder back down, go back to monitoring, and right now I probably should eat some bread. And we're actually going to go eat another piece of bread. It's just, we save our loaves of bread because you can turn them into ground bait. But you, why is that going nuts? Oh, the wind. That doesn't really make sense, but we'll watch here and see which pole goes first, whether it's the telestick or the bamboo rod. They're both Bolognese rods. That's definitely got to be the wind messing with the feeder bells, because that line is not taut. Alright, so right now we've got some action on that line, so we'll pull in, I believe that's, yep, a nice little tench. Throw that back out there, set it down, and it looks like we got some action going here on our middle rod. Let's go ahead and pick that one up, see what we can do. He's striking it pretty good. You see the fog starting to set in. And we got one on this one. We got a common roach, that's pretty good. It's better than what we've been catching all the time. So I'm going to go ahead and put this rod up for a second. Seeing how it is starting to get dark. And I do have 16 fish. I don't want to have too many in my backpack and lose silver pieces on it, because you do, these fish will rot. The minute you catch them, they start degrading, so you kind of want to not build it up as much as possible. The longer that you sit, the more your fish are going to degrade and the less you're going to get paid for them. So obviously, it seems to be right around a one-day cycle is about as much as you want to go before you start losing on your fish. Don't know if we're going to get any action on that feeder. Or we might actually have something small on it already. No, we don't have anything on it. If we do, I'll be surprised. But we don't. So put that rod up. And we will turn on our flashlight, grab the, oops. Grab our bamboo rod here, see if we can pull one more fish in before I go over to the fishmonger. And sell off the day's catch. Which if I can get this one in, this will be 17 fish. And then we'll take a look at the percentages and how fast that they go down. He's on it right now, so I technically, there we go, hooked him. So that's a nice way to round it out, a 444 gram tench. So now that we got our fish, we're going to run back to the market. And we're going to sell off our catch, which will be 17 fish. Hopefully we make some decent silver off of it. Now, if I was back at Mosquito Lake, I know where I'd be catching at. And they actually have a food kitchen where once a day you can go eat for free. Now here you don't. So here's the fish market, and we're going to take a look at the fish here that we've caught. Like the first fish we caught, it's already degraded down by only 1%, because we caught them 19 minutes ago. So looking at our entire selection, we have $9.1 silver for 17 fish. So that puts us up to 81.12. And we're good on food, we're good on... Actually, you know what? I want to stop in here and I want to go to the bait store. That's grocery. Other way. I'll go to the tackle store. And go with baits. So I want to pick up some different bait here. Let's see, what do we want? Pretty much everything they have is going to be 100 pieces, 30, 30, 30. Maggots are not cheap. I think we'll go with wheat seeds, see if we can get anything out of that. So we got some wheat seeds. See if we can do anything with corn too. So we'll get some corn seeds. And just for fun, let's go with some pea seeds. Alright, so now we've got bait. I'm going to try switching some things up here on the feeder rod. So once again, we're going to make our way back to the dammed valley. Now this entire waterway here snakes back, but it does have a very stiff current. The only place that does not is where we were going, right here in the dammed valley, in this little pond here, as it shallows out, which is why it makes for a great float fishing spot, because if not, you're going to be watching your float go right down the river, and it's not really that much fun trying to back far enough to where I can stick this in the ground. Get our second one out. Let's see, we've got... Let's try pearl barley on this one. Too close to the other rod or something? It means I'm just going to move it over here. Or not. There we go. And get our feeder rod out. And we're going to try corn on this one. So we most importantly close the bell. We can see our rod here has got something on it. It was going nuts while I was setting the other rods out. We'll see if it moves any. I think we might have lost that one for now. Getting a little bit of action again. And we'll pull in our first fish, and it looks like it's a gibble carp. Yep. And while we're at it, we're going to make some more bread bait here. So we do have this one sitting here. Alright, so we successfully made baits. So that's more bread balls. Now, of course, bread ball is the most common bait you can make, and pretty much the first bait you can make. I need to get my skills up, that way I can make better baits for better fish, but that also means I'm going to have to get better equipment, which, when you're spending as much as you're making, it's kind of hard to do it. Come on, take it. He's got it. Ooh, he's putting up a fight. That's a pretty good sized fish right there. 805 gram tench. So that gave me some very good XP. That gave me 603. I'm not going to complain about that at all. Sit here and watch them, see which one goes off first. It probably will be the telestick, unless they're not liking what I put on the hook. Nope. Our bamboo rod is going off again. See what we pull in this time. That looks like a gibble. Yep. And our bobber was completely underwater on the telestick, so we're going to see if we can't try and get whatever was on it. I'm also watching our feeder rod too to make sure that it doesn't go nuts here. And I pulled that one right out of the fish's mouth. Typical me to do. And we're getting action again on our bamboo rod. We got another gibble coming in. No, that's a crucian carp. Nice. I'm not catching the same thing every time. I think I'm seeing some action here. I thought I was. We've got that line nice and taut there on our feeder. Haven't heard the bell go off though. Also seeing a few things that I forgot to, well, I haven't quite set them up yet for RF4 here. Normally I'd have my channel up in there, but right now it's all about just fishing. So right now we got nothing going on, nothing's really biting, but it is 3 in the morning. And of course, as I say that now, my feeder rod's going off. Excuse the coughing, I still got a little bit of a sinus and or upper respiratory infection going on. Let's see what our first fish brought in with corn is. Oh wow. New achievement, all is fair. So 511 gram crucian carp, that'll work. Make sure you close the bell. We'll come back here and focus on our other 2 rods, and I see that telestick starting to go again. Hopefully this time I can catch something with it instead of jerk it out of the fish's mouth. Though it might be a battle of switching to the Soviet rod to get what's on that instead. So we'll get this sucker out of the water here. You can see the more I'm catching these, the more not getting as much XP. Yeah, I could have swore I had something on that one. Right now we got a 0.6 wind from the southwest, and we're kind of northwest. Wind also plays a big factor too. If the wind is blowing from, say, east-west, the migration of the fish obviously is going to be on the opposite direction, because you've got your small fish, aka bait fish, that run up in the shallows like minnows and shad and stuff like that, and then obviously the larger predatory fish are going to chase their food, so it's going to move around. But at this particular waterway, I've noticed that really for doing float fishing, this is about the only spot unless you want to go ahead and throw on a spinner or a feeder. And then you can go out in the river and try your luck casting. But float fishing for me is bringing in pretty much 90% of the XP. Every time. Apparently that one didn't care. See, the wind's starting to pick up a little bit now. It's now at 1.1. So we'll pull in another gimbal carp, and you can see the XP is going down even more every time. We did have a fish on our telestick. I did see the bobber underwater for quite some time, and we got it underwater again, but I'm going to pull it out, reset over this way. Drop that down the water, and then we're going to take and we're going to reset our feeder rod. We're going to line these up in a straight line, that way it's easier to get to. Now, I do have a steel leader on this in case I do latch on to like a pike or something, that way it doesn't chew the line. So now we got that. Up here we're gonna get all three of our rods set up pretty much in a straight line here, so I can basically stand at the middle one and be good. But we are getting action off the Soviet rod again. Waiting to see that bobber go completely underwater. Like that. Oh boy. That's a good sized fish. The tench seemed to put up a lot more of a fight. So now we've got that going. We definitely have our bobber underwater right now. But once again, it's a finesse thing, and I'm about as graceful as a dyslexic gazelle sometimes. It comes down to patience, and even in real life fishing, I do not have patience. As soon as I see something start biting on my line, I'll lose more fish than I'll catch just because I don't have the patience to sit there. I want it. I want my fish. Let's get the fish now. Why did I not get the fish? Oh, because I was stupid and didn't wait long enough. So you can see the bobber was completely underwater on our telestick. And we do have a fish on the line. Definitely. Alright, so we're going to get this big boy in here because he was stressing the line out pretty good, so we'll see what this is. Alright. Pretty good sized gibble carp. Go back to our Soviet rod here. And we do have a fish on that as well. So we'll pull in another crucian carp. Get it reset and back down in the water as we are grinding here. You can see down in the lower left corner, I am almost up to level 11. I'm at 8.61 thousand out of 11,000 needed for rank 11, or level 11. And I'm going to have to go a whole nother rank too to unlock the next waterway that I can travel to. But I'm going to need bigger gear too as well. Back to the telestick. Yeah, how you doing, Lady of Games? Let's see which one goes first, and it's going to be the Soviet rod, so it's a race to see which one comes out first. I'll take that. Just doing the grind. Want to get that new waterway unlocked. Back to our telestick here and see if we can pull in some better fish. Or big ones, at least. And as always, the Soviet rod goes nuts anytime I touch this telestick. We'll pull this one in. Good sizer. Come on, get in the net, fishy. Thank you. Wow, 1.209 kg. But since it's a gibble carp, and I've got so many of them, XP is going to be down. Really surprised nothing has gone on that feeder rod yet. We got something traveling on this one though. Another gibble. Yeah, let's put that back in the water. Set that one down.
Stephanie Schultz left your channel.
So that's back to farming. We're going to reposition this feeder rod here. So I'm pretty sure the bait that I had on it is not really what the fish are wanting right now. Earlier that thing was going nuts. Aha! Let's see, let's try some pearl barley. There we go. Try keeping it unslacked. Come on. That one moved in a lot closer. I know the Soviet rod's gonna go. The problem is when I hit it, there's a good chance of it ricocheting out of the water. I know I definitely cast that telestick out a lot further than that. But my ADD is kicking in, and every time I see that bobber bouncing, shiny red ball syndrome, and we got a fish on it. So we're going to try, see if we can get him. Oh, we got him. Come on. So we'll take that, another gibble carp. And now I see my other one starting to move. That's good news for me. Telestick right now, the bobber is underwater, so let's see if we can grab this one. Yep. Another crucian carp. I'm getting the float fishing up pretty good, but Need to work on that bottom fishing and the spin fishing. Let's take a look here. Line's pretty, well, it's tighter than it was. Now this is the type of game that you can easily lose hours and hours and hours into, just like me and Alan did back in the day on a different fishing game, which I'm not going to mention, but we literally would spend hours on end just fishing. This one here, I'm glad that my taskbar is up on the 4th monitor, that way I can't see it. Oh, looks like we're getting a little action on the feeder. Something is definitely playing with the feeder rod right now. And we've got action going right now on the telestick. We're going to have to eat some more bread here in a minute too. We're going to switch rods. We had our feeder going off. Let's see what we bring in on the feeder and see what my bottom fishing's up to. That's a pretty good sizer. Get in here. Huh. Looks can be deceiving. It was only 269 grams. Set that one back down. And go back to this. You can see our line is stretched out now. Oh, and our line is taut now. But no, this game is probably as close to real fishing as you can get. As far as the physics, the way the fish change their spawn location and their migration, the way that weather plays into it. I actually reinstalled Skype this morning. My computer, when I did a clean install, I don't know why, but I got rid of the preloaded version of Skype on there. I know Alan was up my butt this morning, and I kind of dropped the ball. Exactly, this is more of a simulation. I want to grab this rod, but I don't want it to go flying. Like that. I don't know if he sent the right Skype, because it'd been forever and a day since I had logged into Skype, so when I re-downloaded it, he might not have the right one. But I do have Skype reinstalled, so... And Alan's not on it, so he obviously has the wrong one. Which is odd, because I've only ever had one. I hear you. Luckily, with it being fall here, there's really not a lot going on in my life, so I've got plenty of time, but... Oh, okay, there, perfect. Come on, feeder, go off. Wow, I'm already up to 17 fish. I should be paying attention to this rod because I'm pretty sure that bobber was underwater. Yeah, it was, and I was stupid. Didn't pay attention. That's fine because we need to eat anyways. Eat some of this. Oh yes, I am an avid bass fisherman in reality. strictly a sport fisher, though. I don't keep any of my fish. Where is the bobber? Oh, there it is. Get somewhere I can see it. All my fishing in real life, though, I use, stop giving me, thank you. There we go. I use bait casters predominantly, especially when fishing for smallmouth and largemouth. Never use live bait either. The fish down here, I don't know whether it's just the species or not, but we have, some people call them striped bass, which that's winter fish. Rainbow ones, which are also called Kentuckies, they're smallmouth. We have the traditional smallmouth bass, and then we also have the largemouth, which is, I prefer fighting the smallmouth because they put up way more of a fight than the largemouth do. The largemouth will take your bait and it's kind of just cut and dry. You just reel them in. The smallmouth, it feels like you're trying to reel in a log. And then we also have an invasive species of Asian carp, which are nothing more than a nuisance fish, which we have no limit on them. We can literally, oh, nice, oblique. We could take a shotgun and blast them out of the water as long as we take them from the water. But we have a lot of guys around here that bow fish for the Asian carp. And it's more of just, that's more of like a sport thing to them. We also have the flying fish too, which is why I got rid of my boat, because I got tired of every time going down the creek or the river having fish flying up and sometimes landing in your lap, which isn't a pleasant experience, especially when you have like a 6 or 7 pound fish that's getting excited. Oh, feeder's going off. And it just, owning a boat was too much money. Well, I won't even, I won't say what else I've fished with besides shotguns. No, nah, why not? Sometimes you get bored and dynamite comes out. Not exactly the best thing to fish with, because you kind of want your fish intact instead of in pieces. But when you're out there in striper season and it's cold and the river's kind of frozen, you kind of got to bust the ice, which is what I was doing, and I ended up probably killing about 30 or 40 fish. But it was fun and made for one hell of a boom too, which was kind of cool. So the lesson with fishing with dynamite is just use moderation. Half stick, a little too much. Quarter stick, should be able to get away with a quarter stick and not kill too many things. Now I've tried bow fishing, and I mean I love deer hunting with a bow, but for some reason I'm just not really good with a bow when it comes to fishing. Mainly because I'm too distracted by the 8 million lights that are on the boat and the 16 generators powering all the lights. I mean, it's fun, I guess, but it's not really a sport when you just go up, blind the fish in the shallows, and done. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Gotcha. Oh, this one looks pretty. And that's on a small boat. What these guys do is they'll take pontoon boats, which we call them party barges, because in the summertime it's pretty much, hey, find your buddy, call them up, get a bunch of girls, guys go out. I mean, hell, I've seen 30 plus people on a good 40-foot pontoon boat with dual, I think it was dual Ranger XP30s or 300s. So that's a lot of boat there, but there's a lot of people, and that's a lot of drunk going on in a very small space. But they'll take a pontoon boat, they'll modify it, and they will literally ring the entire outside of the boat with gigantic halogen lights, and then they'll have anywhere from 6 to 10 Honda generators powering those lights, and you can hear them coming from miles away. And it used to piss me off so bad in my old boat that I had. It was a little old 1987 Aquacraft Sea Nymph. It was a deep V with a shallow draft, so I could get up into the really, really, really small spots where the bass were, or if the water was low, I could get up in the extreme shallows and just have to pull the trim up on the boat and then get in there with the troller. But it would annoy the hell out of me when the bow fishers came around, because number one, they're chugging along with that big boat, scaring the fish. The lights are blinding them. And then you've got 6 or 7 drunk-ass rednecks yelling and screaming every time that they spear a carp with a bow. So that's usually about the time that I would head to the dock and call her a night. And the feeder rod is going nuts. It does not seem like he's... Oh, there he is. Now he's moving. No. Come on, buddy. You need to come this way. Or we can go down this way if you want. Just gotta tire him out. Come on, fishy. I'll tire you out eventually. You're going this way now. Come on. I will get you. Get up here by the shore. That way, if I need to use my net, I can. There we go. He's starting to give in a little bit. I don't know how far he got out before he decided to come in. Oh, wow. Hello, fish. That's a pretty good size right there. Come on. Get my net. No, come here. Come here, fishy. Come here. Get my net, please. There we go. Gotcha. Wow, really? That small fish put up that big of a fight. Alright, so I'm at 7.1% on bottom fishing. Not bad. Maybe a lot higher, though. Let's move to here. Line is taut. And I can stick it down on the ground. We're good. Okay, where is my bobber on this one? It's underwater going for a ride right now. Oh, come on, buddy. That. Oh, that one's a bait fish right there. It looked a lot bigger than it actually was. Oh, I heard it going off. It keeps going off. I'm tempted to see if I do have something. No, I don't. I'll put it back down. And of course I've got slack in the line now, so something's really going to have to take it. That fish should have been kept on the hook for bait for a larger one. Please don't jump. Ah, alright. Well, good enough. Oh, we're going to get this guy. That looks like a crucian. Yep. XP, not really there, but it's a fish. Let's see, the funniest thing that happened is when I first started fishing. Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot about that. There we go. Oh, Alan just sent me a message there on TeamSpeak. The server is going to restart in 23 minutes. Oh, we automatically got a taut line now. I totally forgot you could reel in on that by pressing Y. And see, I had put probably, I don't know, at least a dozen hours into this game when it was still all in Russian. And I was going off of Alan's Russian translation, and we all know Alan with his spelling. Some of the words didn't really match up to what they were supposed to be, so I had to help him there. I was kind of the grammar Nazi, which I've always been. But when I first started fishing, I had a canoe, and I think it was a 42-pound trolling motor on it, which at the time I did not know was illegal to have that not registered as a boat, because I didn't think it was a boat. It was a canoe with a trolling motor. But I had caught the county record for something that's really going crazy on my feeder rod. Yeah, I saw that line go nuts. No. Yes, I know. Walk closer. Get the rod. And he no, he didn't take off. He's still there. But no, the fish that I had caught, I was trolling back upstream, and all of a sudden my canoe started going backwards really, really fast. And by the time I had gotten the fish reeled in close enough to where I could net him, he had drugged me about a quarter-mile downstream. Oh, the fish got away. Darn it. Oh well. Close the bell. Stand back. Take a look at it and bump that line up. There we go. He dragged me about a quarter-mile downstream. And then I think it was not even a month later, I was out fishing with my son, and TWRA, which is our local game wardens, they only come up in the creek when it's a holiday, and they're basically looking for people that they can get an easy BUI, which is boating under the influence. We were fishing just along the banks, and all of a sudden I get stopped by TWRA, and oh, Chinese sleeper, look at that. They're like, oh, you don't have registration on this canoe. You're getting a $500 fine. I'm like, what? And then he looked at my life preservers, which at the time they were just what are considered a PFD, a personal flotation device, not a proper life jacket. So he issued me a fine for that as well, another $500. The one guy was just a complete jerk about it, but I literally felt like I was a drug runner, because I got escorted back to the boat dock by two big-ass TWRA boats, and it was like I was freaking Pablo Escobar or something running cocaine out of a submarine. But nonetheless, the other guy with the other TWRA agent, because I kind of got a little bit of an attitude with the one guy, because he had, I guess, like I guess you'd call it small penis complex, so he was trying to be Mr. Johnny Hardass with me, and that doesn't float. So I got an attitude back with him, and TWRA officers do have the right to detain you while they call the sheriff's department or the police department in the area I'm at. It doesn't fall under city jurisdiction. It falls under county, so they do have the right to detain you until a county sheriff would come out to arrest you for like disorderly conduct or whatever. But the other guy, luckily, he got off of the boat, and he told me, look, just go to Walmart, buy the cheapest life vests you can, go get this thing registered, and when your court date comes up, just show the receipt showing proof that you registered your canoe as boat, and show that you bought a pair of life jackets, and everything will get dismissed, which of course I did, because I didn't want to pay $1,000 in fines. But the funniest part out of the entire story is when I went in front of the judge, who has known me since I was probably about, well, hell, I moved down here when I was 11, so he'd known me since I was 11. And he had asked me where this had happened, and I told him the creek that I was in. He's like, okay, you were in a canoe in Sycamore Creek, and that's against the law? And the TWRA agent kind of got a little red-faced, because, I mean, we knew it was bullcrap that they would try to do that, and they were literally just out trying to make some money by giving out some BS tickets and stuff. But the judge, our courtroom is mic'd all the way around, so that way if, say, an unruly inmate or whatever goes off, it's all recorded and it can be used against him for further charges. It was hilarious because Judge Maxey had actually leaned away from the microphone, but he still said it loud enough that he goes, are you fucking serious? Do you have to register a canoe as a boat? And like the whole courtroom just started laughing, and the TWRA agent got so red-faced and embarrassed over it, and he looked at it, looked straight at the officer, and goes, are you serious with this? And the officer hesitantly said, well, yes, Your Honor. And he turned around again, and he goes, that's bullshit. So he looked at me and he goes, well, did you register it? And did you at least catch some good fish? I was like, well, I didn't get any good fish, but here's the, I gave the lady over there, here's the receipt for the life jackets, and here's the receipt showing that I registered it as a boat. He looked at it, he goes, all right, case dismissed, go out there, have a, hopefully next time you won't get harassed by him. And he looked right at the guy, and I kind of just walked out of there with a smile on my face, and it was kind of one of those moments in life where you're like, did that seriously just happen to me? But yeah, I know the judge and I know most of the cops around here because I live in a fairly rural area, and pretty much everybody knows everybody. If you didn't go to school with them, you went to school with somebody in their family. So it's pretty much everybody's either related to somebody somehow, which thank God I'm not, because I'm a transplant from the north. But it's also, unfortunately, one of the towns that, since it's small town politics, if you have the right name, last name, you can get away with murder. Where is my bobber rockets? Over there. And I've got a million more stories that aren't fishing involved, but pretty much fall along the same lines of, did that seriously freaking happen? Like, I used to have a pair of neighbors. I used to be really big on racing quads. So I had some trails back behind my house down the woods. Unfortunately, that's all this area consists of, is the little podunk towns where if everybody's not up in your business or if somebody's not creating drama, they're going to make it to where you're drug into the drama. But I had a Suzuki LTZ 400, which is a pretty much standard race quad that would basically piss on Hondas all day long. But behind my house, I thought that there was a creek, that a spring-fed creek that split the property, because the entire subdivision that I live in used to be all cattle field, and then they turned it into all subsidized housing. But it's not like, okay, we're going to do apartments here and all this junk. We're going to do nice houses, and it's actually a really nice house considering its age now. But I figured, okay, if I got on the other side, that's just the state property, and the state doesn't give two shits about what I do there. It turns out the property that's backed up behind me is a 250-acre farm that multiple times has been offered ridiculous amounts of money to sell the land so that they could subsidize all the property. But luckily they don't want to sell, so I'm landlocked and I don't ever have to worry about having like 500 houses around me. I think that the 20 houses that are on my road right now, for it being a less than a half-mile dead end, is more than plenty of enough. But I was riding on the land, had some pretty cool jumps and stuff there that I would play with, and turns out it was their land, which part of the land was owned by the son, who he didn't really seem to really care too much, but the other land was owned by his father, who had moved to Florida. But either way, these two chicks had like the biggest boner trying to get me in trouble. So they literally called probably 2 or 3 times a day, the sheriff's department, on me. I mean, there was a CAD sheet probably a mile long of how many times the cops had been out there just over me riding a four-wheeler. And they dragged me through court for 4 years. And I ended up having to pay, I think, the most messed up part was I agreed to pay the restitution to the guy whose property I actually did ride on, but it was a little race quad. I was running in between trees, really narrow trail. They had the audacity to say that I was down there with a freaking bulldozer and stuff, just bulldozing trees. My four-wheeler had a 48-inch track width, so from outside of the tire to outside of the tire was 4 feet. Explain how in the hell a bulldozer, which is at least an 6 to 8 foot blade on it, how I could get down in the woods with a bulldozer and destroy all these trees that they claimed were on their property, when I went down there and took pictures of all of it, clearly showing that it was not on their property, but ended up having to pay restitution to them too. And it was a mess. It was bad enough that I actually sold my four-wheeler because I was just tired of dealing with the bullshit, so I was like, I'm done with this. Now, after that happened, I realized that they literally took, this is the funniest part, they were claiming that some of the trees that I had destroyed were trees that we had a big ice storm in 1994, which leveled a lot of trees, and they had literally gone through the effort of taking all these trees that had been downed for 15 plus years and claiming that I had killed them. Unless I could figured out a way to accelerate the decay of a tree, there's no way in hell I could have, especially with the four-wheeler, some of these trees were bigger around than a semi-truck tire. I was like, how in the hell am I going to knock that over with a four-wheeler? It was just ridiculous, but, I mean, small town, neighbors have to deal with them on a daily basis, so whatever. Get this over with and be done with it. It was absolutely ridiculous, so I just gave up on riding for a while. Then I was like, okay, I need a utility four-wheeler because this amount of property, to keep up with it, it needs to have some sort of thing. The trails need to be cut. My lawnmower, even though it's a zero turn, apparently it had to have been a monster truck. I mean, hell, I'm surprised they didn't say I was down there with me and a bunch of buddies with four-wheel drives and all that shit. I mean, they were just making stuff up right and left. Honestly, I laughed in the courtroom. My lawyer didn't think that was too funny. But at that point, I really didn't care. I was pissed enough at them because they had taken pictures even of us just riding in the circle, which there's nothing illegal about it. It's not a through road, but they took pictures of a minor. So I about jumped over the what the hell, the railing there and almost beat the shit out of one of them in the courtroom. I will definitely do that. Thank you for stopping by, lady. Dang it, pulled that one out of the water too soon. Oh, I'm so close to level 11, I can smell it. Oh, I was beyond pissed, but the funny part is after I paid them off, and all I was taking care of, we ended up being friends, and then they moved. So, yeah. Ultimate in irony. Alright, so we have a record amount of fish caught. I didn't realize that. I got 34 fish. The rot's got to be getting pretty bad on some of these. Thank you. I need all the luck I can get, because I still got to go a whole nother level after this. Come on, feeder rod, telescopic rod, do something, because I want to get a couple more fish before I go up to the market. And I think it's about that time of day, though, that we're going to hit that slack spot. Is there anything on this? Bump it a couple times. I don't think that telescopic rod's going to really do anything. Let's pull it over this way. Nope. Pull all the way up first. Pull it over this way. Oh, we got action on the feeder. Alright, awesome. So then we'll just have to catch something on the telestick, and that'll be a successful day. That'll give us 36 fish. Oh boy. This one feels like it's got a little bit of fight to it. Oh, you're gonna chill out, fish. I will wear you down. Oh, wow, he's fighting. This one better be more than what it feels like. Oh, come on. I will get you in. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, fish it, fish it, fish it. Looks like he's still pretty far out. Oh, now he's starting to go back this way again. I will get, oh, there you are. There you are, I see you now. Oh. Come here. Get over here, fish. Come on. Fishy, 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 get in the water. There we go. Alright, so once again, another gibble carp. No, 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 no. Don't want to cast. No, no, no. Cancel. Crap. I don't want to cast. Nah. Didn't want to cast. Ah, you know what? Screw it. We'll do it one more time. Set that down in the water. Line is very slack, so we're going to snug them up. And then we'll go over here to our telescopic rod and see something's bouncing it a little bit. Hopefully we can get something off of this. before that feeder rod starts going off again. Come on. You can do it! Oh, damn it. Well, let's see what we can do here. See if the feeder is going to catch any last thing. Because we've already got 35 fish. The only reason I'm going to leave this one out right now is because I pretty much, like an idiot, cast it out when I shouldn't have. Wasn't trying to. But maybe on the safe side, since we are facing a server reboot here, I might want to go ahead and reel this in and sell my fish. Alright, there we go. Let's run over to the fish market real quick. Get these sold before the server does reboot. Watch my luck. I'll get right across the bridge. They're just starting to sell the fish and boom. Might actually try, I don't know if it's going to be productive if I can feeder fish in a current. Don't necessarily need a light on right now, so we're going to go over to the fish market. And let's see, our worst fish is down to 96%, and I caught him about an hour ago. So down here at the bottom, we've got $26.16 of silver for 35 fish. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Not responding. That's not what I want to see. What's up, Joe? There we go. Now it's responding. So I'm 2 cents short of 100 100 silver. I'm kind of curious now to see if it's restarted yet or not, or going to be restarting it or not. I know how to spell. Alright, so let's see. I don't know if I want to try a feeder rod. Can you pull one out here? I'll be damned, you can. That's crazy. You can pull it out on the bridge. Alright, there is one spot that I do want to try. '87 Mustang GT, so that would be the 5.0 in it. How many miles on it? I actually got offered a 94 Cobra yesterday, but unfortunately the 94 is the under the, oh, there we go. Good thing I sold stuff when I did, because there's our server restart. So it's down now. Sadly, the 94 Cobra was the Cobra to laugh at. Oh, so you ran right through my state. Well, obviously, duh, to go to Florida. If you're going from Chicago, that means you were coming down 65, which would actually taking you right through Nashville. Alright, so if that means the server is down, that means I'm going to have to pull it back up and see what the update is. Oh wow, that's really low miles for an 87. Really, really low miles for an 87. Damn it, the game always pulls up on my fourth monitor when I have surround disabled. Let's see how long it takes here. Oh, whoops. No, it's not incorrect. If you're in Nashville, there was a, what was it? We had something going on. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we're still gonna be sitting here waiting for the servers to come back up. It was a scheduled. There was a scheduled down, but Alan, I ain't gotta mute shit.
Well, I do.
Yeah, you do. I don't. Welcome to the stream, jackass.
How you doing?
I had, what the hell was it, 35 fish?
Yep.
So yeah, I'm damn near at level 11 now.
How many viewers you got over there?
2.
I had 21 right now with a high of 37.
What are you giving me, a forecast?
Yeah. So you had a pretty good conversation?
Oh yeah.
Good.
She loves my little stories that I went into, like, remember the one I told you, the bullshit over the four-wheeler?
Oh yeah.
And then the getting escorted back to the dock by TWRA?
Yep.
Yeah, I ran through a couple of those stories. But yeah, it was fun. And I'd totally forgotten with the feeder rod that to snug up the line, you just tap Y.
Yep.
So yeah, little tidbits of advice were handed to me there when I was sitting there. I was like, oh, well, there's some slack in that line. So she's like, tap Y. I'm like, ah, duh. I was like, yeah, I'm a little bit rusty. Last time I played was when it was still all in Russian, and I was relying on Alan's frickin' translation stuff.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I threw you in the bus.
That's all right.
Is that Mustang an auto or a manual? Because I'm actually looking at a really, really nice '02 New Edge Mustang. Basically, anyone that doesn't have the 5.0 in it, because I hate working on that motor. I want the 4.6 modular. Everything's so much cheaper. Yeah, it might help if I probably actually exited the hell out. Instead of sitting...
Yeah, I tried that. I'm waiting for the game to respond.
Oh, well, this is a good thing.
We got a patch.
Yeah, well, that gives me a good amount of time to add things to Russian fishing right now. Because I don't have, like, my DieHard live thing and all that stuff.
Yep. I'm probably going to get all robotic-y because I'm downloading the patch.
Oh boy, yeah. Domo Origato Alan's Roboto. There we go. Now I can get these things in here.
Yeah, close the game down and reopen it.
I did.
And you're going to get a patch of 35 megs.
Jeez. So that's
It
going.
wasn't a very big patch tonight.
Yeah, it's going now. Now I can get my other.
Nope, now you're going robotic.
I'm going robotic?
Yep.
Wow.
It might just be because it might be my download upload situation, but
let's hope
it could
so.
be yours too. It's not supposed to be yours, but
no shit. Since I'm sitting on the other thing, I can be doing nice little things like adding stuff while I'm waiting for it to finish.
nope. Sleepy just pasted in the patch notes.
Installing. So we'll get it there in a second.
I'm probably gonna stream till probably right around 8 o'clock. So, I don't know.
Another
how long
hour.
I'm planning on streaming, but 2 hours on mine.
Oh, duh.
6 o'clock here.
Yeah. I'm not dumb or anything.
I never said that.
You don't have to. I'll say it for you.
But yeah, looks like we're done installing. Have some.
While you were doing
settings
that,
there.
I was messing around with mine. Because right now mine is installing. So we'll get it up here in a minute.
Where is the new? Supposed to be a new audio control.
Takes longer for it to install than it does for it to download.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Now we got it. Yay, now I can drag this back down here. Bam!
And we're still waiting for the server
Yep.
to come up.
I was about to say. Oh, that's the problem with this game. I can't get any of my icons and stuff to go unless maybe I do this. Yep, there we go. That fixes it. I have to put Russian fishing down at the bottom.
Yep.
Alright, so there, I fixed it. Oh, who needs an ashtray? As long as it drives good. But yeah, 45,000 miles on that thing, that's absolutely ridiculously low mileage for an 87 GT.
Huh? What mileage?
45K. That's absolutely nothing. Like my brother's 01, he bought with 72,000 on it. Either 72 or 79.
Guys in my stream are telling me to be patient.
Oh, dude, no. You're like me. You don't want to be patient.
Well, I keep clicking OK.
So do I.
Log in.
If that car was a Chicago car, if it only had a little bit of surface rust on the bottom, you got extremely lucky. And especially if you got it on the cheap, too. My problem is everybody down here, especially for the New Edge or the earlier, the Bubble Butt SN95s, they want anywhere from $4,000 to $10,000. And then you go up to the next body style, the S197s. You can't touch a decent S197 for under 13,000. Then you go to the S550. Forget about that. You might as well just go buy a damn new one. Damn it.
Right.
I'm doing the same thing you're doing now.
I'm just hitting enter. It doesn't work though.
Nah, I'm clicking login.
And then hit OK. I get internal server error.
Yeah, so do I. Okay. I am an internal server error.
If Gene was in my stream right now.
Knock it off, you're breaking it!
Yeah.
Damn it, Alan, quit doing that!
He would be giving me shit for doing it too.
Nah. It's hilarious because every time you put something up on YouTube, all I see is DieHard Live TV. I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't upload anything. I'm like, oh god damn it, I forgot Alan has the same freaking logo. Well, technically, you're the other half of it, so.
I know. Except for I'm a Twitch streamer now.
Yeah. I might try doing that and then doing the uploads to YouTube. It's just,
Well,
like I said, I don't really want to freaking lose everything that I've worked so hard over the years on this for.
What's nice now is they're allowing the annotations.
Yeah.
To allow it to tell your YouTube subscribers that you're streaming live on Twitch.
Really?
Yeah.
So Twitch and YouTube actually were able to come to a fucking agreement over something? Or actually, I should say Twitch and Google were actually able to agree on something. As we all know, Google owns half of everything on the planet. Microsoft owns the rest. Can we log in yet? Yes, we can log in! Okay, now that I was going to do something, but right as I was getting ready to do it, the servers restarted.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking it's probably a dumbass idea. Throw a feeder line in the main waterway. The current's going to drag it down probably and just make the bell go off nonstop.
It all depends on how big of a weight you put on it.
I'll have to look and see what's on it. Yeah, she got to see a few good 800-gram fish reeled in that felt like they were freaking logs. Yay! Look at that, we're back. Alright, now I gotta look at my pole here.
That's nice.
What the hell is my feeder rod? I'm trying to remember.
Did she say anything to you in stream or?
Yeah, I got a 15-gram weight on it. It's a number 5 sinker.
Winding Rivulet?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should need something bigger.
Bigger than a 15? I don't think it.
Yeah,
I've got a 30.
I run 30s and 60s or 30s and 90s.
I just put a 30 on it.
Yeah, make sure it doesn't overload the rod though.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm gonna go down to that one spot where the log is.
Yeah, just look at your rod in inventory.
Yeah.
Or if you have it in your hand, press V.
Well, I'll just go to an inventory since I'm running.
And then bring up the that rod in on the I screen where it says I. If you select that on the rod, it'll open up the little black pop-out window. That window will tell you what the test is.
Test is 20 to 100 gram.
All right, you're fine.
Yeah.
Put up to 100 grams of weight on that.
Okay.
That's, that's including your hook, your
Yeah.
sinker, and your bait.
I'm going to try with a 30 on it, see what it does.
All right, I'm going back to my stream. All right, we'll talk to you a little later.
Yep.
Good luck.
Yeah, I need it. Alright, let's run down here. Keep going through the sunny pinery. And then down here to the campground where we've got a motorcycle. Now this does have a current in it, so we're going to try and cast down this way towards, there's a tree across the river down here. Let me in. Let me in. Yeah, we're going to go down a little bit further. Okay, so the tree across the river is going to be right down there. Perfect. And we're on good solid ground here, so we're going to bring out our feeder rod. Oh, apparently I have my mouse on the wrong damn screen. And that was the worst cast I've ever done in my life. And I see things I have to do already, so bear with me here as I do this. This is driving me nuts. There, now it's quit. Ah, screw it. See if we can get anything off of this. Holly down a 30 gram weight. And actually, no, you know what? That tree's way the hell down there. Oh damn, Nashville! You were only about 25 minutes away from me when you were there. Oh yeah, we're synonymous for having really good freaking food here. If you didn't experience Nashville hot chicken, you were missing out on some really, really good chicken. Granted, it's hotter than hell. It's really good chicken. Holy shit. I just broke my record for a cast. So we'll set the feeder down. We've got a current going. But I'm going to bump that line up. Let's see what this thing does. Had I known you were going to be going through Nashville, I could have told you, like, the best place in Nashville to eat. It's this barbecue joint called Sweats. They have the best food in all of Nashville, and it's all handmade. And it's a traditional, it's run by this amazing black family. Everything every morning is fresh, made and prepared. And literally during lunch rush hour, there's probably about maybe up to like a quarter-mile line sometimes. The place is so good. It was so good it was actually featured on Food Network. Absolutely delicious place to eat. But there's a lot of places downtown that are really good too. You ain't missing nothing with Kentucky Fried Chicken. Pretty sure that feeder rod's not going to do anything, so we might have to make our way back up to the damn valley. We're going to have to do a lot of reeling in first. I think about the only good KFC though is the original one. And I don't even know if that one's still up there. Yep, I'm exactly, I think it's 25 miles northwest of Nashville. I'm in between Nashville and Clarksville. I'm closer to the I-24 corridor than the 65. But I'm literally right. I've got I-40, I-24, and I-65 all within 25 minutes of me. I-24 being the closest. Yeah, Nashville hot chicken, that'll melt your face off. I don't really do hot food myself either, but Nashville hot chicken is the bomb. Picture going to Buffalo Wild Wings and ordering their most spiciest wings that they have and adding a little bit to it, and then you got Nashville hot chicken. So we get the long run back. Gotta cross the bridge, go past Beaver Island, and then back to the damn valley. Because we're just now going through the pasture. Yeah, a lot of the restaurants on Broadway, they got really good because it's... They don't use like a crap ton of breading. The breading is almost like what they use for catfish. It's very thin, light. Oh, come on. Spending more time running than anything. Alright, so there's Beaver Island. After we get to Beaver Island, we'll end up at the damn valley. Hey, there's my fishing hole. Now we can get all 3 poles out. And I'll be able to, before we do any of that, do some eating here. And we're going to make some more dough balls here. So we're going to use this one here. So we made some more dough balls. And look for another one that's at 1. Use that, make some more dough balls. And we've got one more that we can do. Let's see, we got our harvesting baits up to 5.9%. And now we can get our rods back out in the water. And most importantly, remember to set your leader depth back to what it was, because it goes back to whatever it was every time. So our Soviet rod is in the water. Get our telestick out, reset the leader depth on that one to 45. And we're gonna get this one out to here. Set that one down. And then get our third rod out. Throw that one out. Gotta get this moved over here. And then we're gonna snug up the line. And see, oh, we got a hard bite here on this one. Right now, dough balls are pretty much about the only thing that I can make as a crafted bait. You have to get your skills built up. Of course, the more you get your skills built up, the more baits you can make, the more... Same thing with lures and everything. You've got to basically work your way up on it. You're coming out of the water with me. Gibble carp. Drop that rod back down. The worst part is before I started doing this again, I probably should have peed, but yeah. Sometimes I don't think. I might have too much of a weight on that now. Because it cast it out way too freaking far. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Should be able to grab it without it flipping out. Flipped out a little bit. All the way under, and we're going to bring it in. Another gibble. Keep it. I think we're going to pull our spinner out because it's got too big of a weight on it. I mean, it can handle the weight, but where I'm fishing at, I'd cast too far, and I guarantee you I was on the freaking shore over there almost. It didn't say that I'd hit the shore, but I don't need to have a big ass weight like that on it. I can take half of it off and be fine. Take this one, take this sinker weight off and put a 15 on it. Perfect. That's another game I need to go back and play again, is my summer car. I haven't done that in forever. Snug up the line. I heard they did add a lot of stuff to that game. And they took away a lot of the bugs that were in it. That was a fun game to play. It's just I'd have to get used to it all over again. And of course, now that I get my feeder put back out, everything's gonna come to a grinding halt. Nope, we're gonna get action here again. Awesome, I'm about to start playing it again then. I've watched it update probably about 24 times. And I never bothered to play it again, so that's definitely on my list of things. Yeah, so the last thing I looked at it, they had a moped. Yeah, I kind of figured that was going to happen there. Oh, we had something on the feeder rod. Nope, we still do. Come here, fisher, fisher. I remember taking the van into town, and loading the boxes was a pain in the ass, and this is a Chinese sleeper. What am I using for bait on this one? Let's try wheat seeds. Yeah, I heard that we got another house. I had seen some streams. I think it was, I forget who. Might have been the Amazing Spears. But I saw that they had given us another house and more stuff to do. Which is fun because, I mean, the OG game was awesome, but after a while it kind of needed more. I remember the last thing that was the moped. So I got 2 poles right now that are breakdancing here. That was the hardest part, was making money. Of course, the last time I cheated my ass off. I don't know if they patched that now where you can't use cheat engine on it anymore. The hell's my damn thing at? Alright, so we're going to stand here, wait for anything to start doing something, like our Soviet rod over here. So our goal is to get to level 11. Yeah, I did notice that they were doing a lot more updates to it. Like, when I had gotten it, a buddy of mine got it for me. Because he started playing, he's like, oh, you gotta play this game. I was like, yeah, it doesn't look that interesting. He's like, what if it's free? I'm like, that'd be interesting enough to play. That's a tench. Nice fish. Nice. Alright, so what I'm going to do real quick is, while we're in a little bit of a lull here, go ahead and use the bathroom real quick, so we'll be back in just a second. Alright, so I can see now that I'm back to the, we got a little action going on here with the Soviet rod. Hopefully. Oh, you bastard. I knew that would happen. I might go ahead and check my feeder rod too. Well, that doesn't look like it's moved at all. That could be a bad thing. That means we need to we'll go back to focusing on these two here. Damn it. I always pick up the wrong one. No, we got a fish on this one. Seems like I'm the resident expert here on gibble carp. Let's go over here to our other rod. See if we can't make some magic happen with this one. Oh, we got something on it. Come on, baby. Yeah, I got you. Is that a tench? No, crucian. Well, I only need 500 more XP and I'll make my next level here. Something makes me want to test this and see if there's anything. Which there isn't, so we'll go ahead and switch baits because obviously the wheat isn't working, the wheat seeds. We'll go back to something we know that does work. Swap out baits. Jeez, we got a bunch of bread dough. Let's go back to maggots. Close the bell. Snug the line. Grab the pole, don't jerk the line. Oh, he's on it. Dang it. You dead dang fisher. What's up, Sergio? Come on, fish. Bite it. Bite it. Don't be stingy, fish. Come on. You know you want it. Don't make me go over to the other side of the bank and set my rods down and cast over this way. You're doing the same thing. Just in reverse. As a matter of fact, I don't even think I can get to that side over there. The trees are in the way. Oh, 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 come on. Take it. Take it. There we go. That's a good looking gibble carp. 118 XP. We're a lot closer now to that goal. And we're also looking at the telestick now starting to go nuts. Oh, that telestick's got something on her. Oh yeah, buddy. That's got something on it. Dinky little thing. 20 XP, but... Oh, we're out of bait. Let's go with bread. Set that down. Looks like this one's got a fish on it. Yeah, we got a fish on that one. That would be a crucian carp. Catching a lot of carp. But it really doesn't matter because fish equal money and XP. Mainly what I'm going after is the XP. 400 XP away. I forget what the hell I put on my feeder rod. If I see that bobber though go on the telestick, we're going after that one. Oh, come on. Yep, that's gonna be another crucian. Or I mean gibble. Set zero down. I'm really surprised that feeder rod has not gone off any. This, basically, we are fishing in Russia. It's more of a, this is classified more as a fishing simulator instead of more of like an arcade style one, like other fishing games. Like this one you have to actually make your own baits, lures. There's different skill trees and stuff that you have to work up. It's far more complex than some of the other ones, and unlike other ones, you don't have to really rely on microtransactions to have the upper hand here. It's just, for me, like, fishing is very, very relaxing, so it's fun to do. Yeah, I know, my feeder rod's going crazy. I know, I'm coming. Like right now, having 3 rods in the water, I'm working on not only just doing float fishing, but also this one I'm bottom fishing. There's a common roach. I'll take that. It's nice though with this one that you can put 3 poles in the water. You can actually set your rods down and do other things. I'm surprised that didn't piss off the fish that was on this line. I need to turn down the DPI on this mouse. It's pretty sensitive. It's set up for playing Battleground. Why is that line going slack? I just tensioned that line and it went slack on me. Weird. Well, one of these two better go pretty soon because I'll drop it for the other rod in a heartbeat. Like this one here. Alright, we got a fish out of that. That's a tench. Oh, out of bait. We'll put some dough balls on that. Get it thrown out in the water. Go over here, check our number 2 pole, which is the Telecaster. And at appropriate time, it took the lure under, so we're going to take that, and that's a good crucian carp coming in. God damn it, gibble carp. Blah. Why does it keep saying bait now? Oh, I know why. Let's try this. See what they like this. See what we got on the end of this one here. I only need 200 more XP. Yeah, this is a tiny little gibble. Oh, that's common roach. What is this bait not chosen thing going on? Move this over here. Snug up the line. And check, I think it's going to be our Soviet pole here. Don't jump. Let me make some more bread balls here in a little bit. Well, he's hot right now. Ah! Jerked it out of his mouth. Move my mouse pad up some here. Oh, that's way better. Don't hear the bell from the feeder rod going off, so we're good. Take that time to do some food here. Then we'll make some bread. Where's the one with one? Right there. Make some more dough balls. 6.1 now. And we brought our hunger back up, so we're doing good. I'm also keeping an eye over there on that feeder line, because like that, it's... Why was that not letting me... Why are you not letting me set the rod down? Damn it. Oh, because I was pressing the wrong freaking button, that's why. And we'll reel this sucker in. Ain't really that big of a fish, but it works on our bottom feeding skills. That is what? That's another tench. Move to the side. Pull the tension out on that, and then I think what we'll do is we'll pull out our Soviet rod and dip that one right in here. There we go. I'm going to start staggering them now. Put the feeder in the middle, and then if I catch anything off of the telestick, I'll move that over to the right side of the feeder rod. But we're literally probably one good fish away from making level 11, which would be awesome. Because then I'll only have one more to go until I open up a new waterway. And already it doesn't feel like I've spent 2 hours and 16 minutes playing this. So this is definitely a great game where you can get lost in the time. Oh, you get over here, fish. That's A nice crucian carp. We'll drop that. What did I have to eat? Oh, meatball sub from Subway. Haven't seen anything on that telestick in a while. It's never a bad thing eating chicken. Chicken's awesome. Throw that sucker out there. Apparently I was pretty far away from... I thought for a second, oh, we got something hard on the Soviet pole. Whoa, easy there, killer. That looks like a nice tench. That is. Oh, I'm just under what I need for XP. Next fish, we'll bring it in. And we're getting action on the Soviet line again. Come on. Take it and run. Or I'll just jerk it out of its mouth. Either way works. And this seems to be the good luck charm. Hold on to one of the rods and then a fish will go ahead on the other one. I don't know if it's because of the Jeep DLC or not, but I've actually gotten back into Car Mechanic Simulator again. Although I did start over. And let's see, am I still in a single bay? Yeah, I'm still in a single bay right now. Single bay, and I had just gotten the repair shop, or the repair table upgrade. I got tired of basically having pretty much infinite money and all that good jive. I wanted to start over and do it legitimately. So I've got the Jeep DLC. I've got some modded cars that hopefully will make their way in. So I'll be getting back into doing the Car Mechanic streams as well. But my main focus is I'm going to be doing a lot more now on Russian fishing here, since it's now finally in English and I can understand everything. I mean, I love playing the game. I loved it even when it was all in Russian. I couldn't understand what it said. There we go! Level 11. That's what I was wanting. And my feeder rod's going off, so perfect. I've got a few of the mods. I've got the Gumper Apollo S. I've got the 68 RS Camaro, the 69 to 70 Boss 302 Mustang, the 95 SVT Cobra, the 70 something Z28 Camaro. That's a nice tench. I'd seen, I think it was Diesel Gaming that was doing race car, restoring like stock cars, but I can't find the stock cars anywhere. Because if I could find those, I would definitely be doing stock cars. Those look fun to do. The problem is until we get the tuning DLC, which they were supposed to have given to us on the 5th of October, according to the Steam release notes, we should have had the tuning DLC before the Jeep DLC came out, but go figure, play away. We didn't get it, so the tuning is going to be the biggest thing that makes the game, because finally we'll get to be able to use the dyno if we have tuning. That was the biggest thing that's deterred me from playing it, is the fact that we still can't use the dyno yet. Not that I really care. And for some reason, I still cannot get a car. Even if I do all the body restoration and everything, I still cannot get a car up to 100%. Like, I can get the motor, everything else up to 100, but doing the repair, the welder, and the replacing any body panels that were bad, repainting the car, and then doing the detail kit to it, I still cannot get it to 100% global condition. I did notice, though, that a lot of the cars that we've had for a long time, they've got a lot of different versions of it now. Like, I worked on a Bolt Reptile Interceptor the other day, and it was really weird. It looked like something out of Mad Max. Oh, feeder line's about to go. Wait for it. Why'd the line get pulled taut, but it's not? Interesting. That feeder line went nice and tight. Now it's not doing anything. What is causing that reflection there? Look at that on the water right there. Looks like something with an eyeball. I'm looking up in the tree. Oh, what the hell is that over there? Is that a beehive in the tree? Looks like there's a beehive in the tree. Really? My bobber was all the way underwater and I couldn't catch a fish with it? That looks like a beehive over there. Right there. Oh, that ain't a beehive. It's a building back there. There we go. Well, I'm ASC certified, so yeah. I did have a fish on that rod. I'm not going to say that I know everything, but I know a lot. I've been around the block quite a few times when it comes to working on cars. We might finally be wearing our welcome out here at the little pond. Little nibbles here on the Soviet rod. See if we can't yank something in with it. Don't see anything else going on right now. Fish has something. Moving around with it. It depends, really. If you're wanting to mod for horsepower or if there's just anything in general that needs to be addressed on that car. Those are two very, very different avenues of approach. I mean, there's always things on the 87 that you can modify, but that's only to produce power. The 302 is a good motor, which is the 5.0. I personally, I despise the 5.0, even though it's old school and you get a lot of power out of it. I just don't like it. I'm more of a fan of the 4.6 modular motors because you can make a ton of power out of those dirt cheap. But with that low of a mile, if that with that thing being a daily driver and it only having 45,000 miles on it, as long as the oil's been changed in it, just the simple routine maintenance stuff like plugs, wires, coolant checks, transmission checks. If the transmission fluid has never been changed in it and it's an 87, I would change. If it's an automatic, that is, I would probably change the fluid in the transmission along with the filter. Just do a fluid and filter swap. And if it's a manual, I'd still change the fluid. Or change the oil in it, rather. And the rear differential. If that's never been serviced, I would drain the rear diff and refill it with some fresh gear oil. But basically just all the routine maintenance that you do to any other car. That's all you really need to do if you're not trying to push power out of it. Maybe a new cap and rotor. No, that takes care of one thing then. Was it an automatic or is it a 5-speed? Wow, the fish have really slowed off. And if it's an automatic and if they go with a rebuilt transmission, the only thing that I would do to it, even with a daily driver, is I would probably have a stage 1 shift kit put in it and a ballsier torque converter. But other than that, nothing. The transmission probably went out because he probably never changed any of the fluids in it, or it, from where it was sat for so long and then it was finally run, it could have had blockages in the valve body on the transmission, or sludge could have built up, and with that long of a drive from Chicago down to Florida, once the transmission fluid heated up, it could have moved a lot of that garbage around and clogged up some of the check balls in the transmission. Because if those things gunk up, they're prone to it missing gears, and or if you're getting stuck in a certain gear. And that's not just a Ford thing, that's an automatic transmission in general thing. If you've never changed the fluid, or if you've parked a car for a very long time and you haven't gone through the proper process of making sure that it's good to go before it takes a long trip like that, stuff like that will happen. I think I might have a little fish on this thing. I do, I have a baby fish on it. It's probably a bleak. Nope, roofie. I mean, the shift kit, that's just an optional thing. That's just going to make the car have a firmer shift to it. If they're putting a brand new transmission in it, you won't have to worry about anything. If they're putting a rebuilt transmission in it or a remanufactured one, I would definitely have a better torque converter, and like with mine, I drove the crap out of my car, so I had all the aluminum stuff, like the valve bodies and everything. Anything that was aluminum inside of that transmission was thrown the hell out, and it was replaced with solid steel valve bodies and a Kevlar line clutch torque converter with synthetic fluid. But that was because I drove my car like I stole it. I err on the side of caution when it comes to transmissions. With it being at a Ford dealership, I don't know if they'd necessarily go with a remand transmission over a new one, because obviously they're going to try and get you for as much money as they can, but I would take a new transmission over a remand any day, unless I specifically was getting the remand to put a shift kit and all that stuff in it. Because they make B&M makes a really nice shift kit. Well, not just a shift kit, but they also make a nice shifter for the Mustangs. Look at another one of those. So let's take some of the slack out. And let's see if we can yank this guy in. Nope. Ripped it out of his freaking mouth. Alright, so let's see. What do we have action on? Those bells on the end of that rod look like Cocoa Puffs. Let's see, what is gonna be... I think I might have migrated down too far. I need to go back to the left. Oh, we got action on the, we had action on it. We might actually have a tiny little bit. Nah. Oh, so we'll reposition this all back to the left. Seem to be doing better when it was over here. At the telestick. Pull that up and out. Wow, actually let me set the rod down there. That's awesome. The basic stuff that can be done in a garage is probably just with not a lot of car knowledge. Just basic stuff would be, hopefully that Ford, if it's got a 9-inch rear end on it, it might be a little bit of a pain in the ass, but it's just doing the rear differential, changing the fluid in it. That's something that definitely can be done a lot cheaper at home versus having a shop do it. The only thing that you might run into is having to lower the axle down so you could get the clearance to put new fluid into it. But with limited car knowledge, the first thing I suggest, and with anybody I suggest, is getting either a Haynes or a Chilton repair manual for the car, and that way it pretty much will explain anything that can be done to that car. All the routine service stuff. It'll give you a breakdown list of exactly step by step how to do pretty much anything any vehicle really. That's what I mean. We use the master manuals from like Ford, GM, Dodge, Chrysler, Fiat, whatever. But the best investment you can make is like that $25 manual from a parts store. The spark plugs, wires, oil change. Putting a cold air intake on that car gives you a little bit of power, but also it frees up a little bit of the restriction of the factory air. But you do have to watch it because you have to buy an air intake that works with your MAF sensor, which is your mass airflow. Like when I get my GT, it's going to be one of the ones with the air filter. It's a long tube where the air filter actually goes through the fender of the car. We're going to have to fight this guy. He's putting up a little bit of a stink here. He is on the move too. Holy crap. Good Lord, come on. Watch, this will be like a 800 gram fish. Yeah, it looks like a pretty good sized tench. Net. Go in the water net. There we go. Yeah, that is a pretty good tench. 545 gram. But yeah, I mean, a cold air intake. My cars rarely ever stay stock. It depends. If you're gonna do exhaust, you might as well do an entire kit. Because if you're doing mufflers, just mufflers alone, there's two options of how to do it. You can either weld them in, or you can clamp them in. And I would not recommend using regular, just crush clamps. I would use band clamps. As when we deleted the mufflers off of my brother's GT, he had me cut them really close to where they went in stock, and he learned that wasn't really a good thing because he had later gotten a Bassani X-pipe and wanted to put the mufflers back on because it was ridiculously loud, and he couldn't because where he wanted me to cut them and where I cut them was way too close to it. And I was like, dude, you're never going to be able to put this back on. But he was getting a cat back anyways. I mean, you could buy probably some Flowmaster 40 series, go to your local muffler shop, and they'll probably weld them up for maybe 50 bucks. And that'll free up a little bit on your exhaust end. But if you upgrade your exhaust a little, you're going to want to upgrade your air intake a little bit too. Because if you're pushing more air out than you're pulling into the motor, you're going to cause back pressure issues. So usually the rule of thumb is always, if you're going to do exhaust, to do intake too, and especially if it's a full kit. I mean, you could run the car, I mean, it's not going to get driven super hard. You could run it without doing an air intake along with the exhaust, but I would highly recommend, especially if it's a full kit, I would definitely recommend getting just at least a cold air intake for it. Because that way you're pulling in more air, but then you've also got to watch fuel too. Because there's three crucial components when upgrading a car that you can screw it up. If you do an exhaust, that means you're going to have to also deal with air and fuel, so you'd have to probably maybe bump up injectors a little bit. There's something there. The air intake is definitely something you can do in your own garage. Wow, that's a big-ass fish. That is a big crucian carp. The air intake, the hardest part about doing that is ripping the factory one off, because a cold air intake, you're going to be removing all of your stock airbox components, and your mass airflow sensor is going to be part of doing your cold air intake, because with the Ford engines, the MAF sensor is integrated in there. Like when I did my cold air intake on my Dodge, I had, well, there was a, did I have to drill? Yeah, I had to drill it because I had my MAF is literally just a little, looks like a Pizio from a grill. So what I had to do is just drill a hole into the composite. And that's another thing too. When buying an air intake, do not get a like a shiny stainless intake. You want a black one, or you want a composite one, because with the shiny T304 stainless ones, they may look pretty, but you're losing the heat coming out of the car. You want to keep the heat in the engine, so that's why you want to go with either a black one, or if you get one that's shiny, because it's cheaper, paint it black, or just get a plastic composite one that'll be black. That way it keeps the heat in the motor. The only reason why they call it a cold air intake is because the air where it's getting drawn in from, through the filter, it's cold, and then it gets heated up through the rest of the pipe. And it's always good to get a full cold air kit, or they call them either short ram or a long ram. The short one is usually going to terminate like right by your right where your battery box ended. The long ram ones are usually going to be, they're going to be a little bit longer, and they're going to have more basically the longer you can get that pipe, the better, because it's more distance that that air has to travel, and the warmer it'll get. But that's what's considered just a bolt-on, an easy bolt-on application. That's a nice little common roach there. Oh, chill out there. Get that back up. The other big thing that I see a lot of Mustang guys do is they put a larger fuel pump in. But that's only if you mess with the injectors and you put larger pound injectors in. And Aaron, you could basically probably just get away with doing a cold air intake and an exhaust and being fine. Or you can also throw a tuner on it as well. That's a little bit more complex. The tuner, though, is more so if you're going to be doing a lot of modification to the car like I plan on doing to mine. I'll be doing exhaust. Basically, if you do a cat delete, which here I can do that because we don't have emissions testing, so I can cut the cats off. Oh hell, had I known it had broken down and it was that close to me, I would have done it. But back to the exhaust, I feel like if you remove the cats, you have to get these things called repeaters, which basically is just the little thing that tricks the computer into thinking that the catalytic converter, the O2 sensors are still there, the repeaters for the O2s. You have to leave your upstream ones in, but your downstream ones, those get removed, and you put repeaters in place. Because if you don't do it, your car is going to be like, wait, well, no, we're going to run right because there's no O2 sensors in the bottom. Nice tench there. I bet that cost a fortune, too, getting that car towed all the way down. The hell's my bobber? Oh, it's over there with the fish. Another gibble. And we got some heavy action on the spinner there. I watched that thing bend sideways, so I knew that was game on. But it's not that big of a fish. Ouch. $475 would have bought you a nice exhaust kit. But with the having transmission problems, you always want to take care of the big things, make sure that the car at least is running first before you start upgrading stuff. But automatic transmissions are fairly easy. Well, actually, the Mustang, they're a pain in the ass to get out. Usually, dropping a transmission, whether it's a manual or an automatic out of a Mustang, requires either having a lift or just jacking up the front end really high, undoing the transmission cross member and then the motor mounts, and then just tilting the transmission back while supporting the motor so you can get access to the bell housing bolts. Now, the automatics are always going to be easier than a manual because you don't have the clutch to deal with. The clutch is a pain in the ass, but it used to be back in the day you never got what they called the puck tool. And what that basically is it's the input shaft on the transmission is splined, and the puck tool basically is just a plastic piece that has the splining for that particular transmission in that car. And when you put your clutch together, your new clutch on, which usually in a standard you always put the you always replace the flywheel with it too. So you put a flywheel on, you put your clutch disc on, then your pressure plate, and what the puck tool does is you stick it in there and you line it up, and it holds the splines in place, so when you go to put the transmission in, everything's all lined up. If he's wanting to make that car sporty, then I would definitely go the route of exhaust, intake, tuner, some fuel upgrades, and definitely, if he wants a sporty and have a fun car, a shift kit in that transmission. And with the those Fox bodies, they've got some body roll to them, so you're also going to want to do some body and suspension stiffening. Because with those all being unibodies, once you start applying power to the car, it makes it easy to get what's called torque twist, and you can actually bend the body of the car. But that's if you're like hot rodding the hell out of it. The old IROCs were notorious for doing that. I put way too much power to one of mine and actually ripped the body line on it. Come on, guys. I ain't got time to play with both of you lines. Either take the one on this pole or get the one on the other one. Yeah, cooling is definitely another one too. The stock cooling on those cars sucks. Now, radiator wise, I would go with like a Mishimoto radiator. They're not really the cheapest radiators, but they're really, really good aluminum radiators that do a lot of cooling. And if it's electric fanned, they come with kits that have a fan shroud and some very good high flow fans that'll definitely keep that car cool. It just wires directly into the factory wiring. Fuel wise, you're probably gonna go up on fuel injectors. And if you go up on the fuel injectors, you're also gonna have to go up on the fuel pump. You're gonna have to put a higher flow fuel pump in it, which means that you're gonna have to go with probably a larger exhaust too, because the more air and fuel that you're sucking into the motor, the more you gotta have going out. You gotta make sure it's even, that you're able to push as much air out as you're sucking into the motor, if that makes sense. You don't want it unbalanced to where you're pulling in a ton of air and you got a really fat fuel mixture and you're not able to push all of it out through the exhaust. That is a nice crucian carb. That's, I mean, you can go on the best place to look to get a good idea on how cheap those cars are to do is go to AmericanMuscle.com and then just pick the year body style, which is obviously going to be the 82 to 92 Fox. Yeah, it's basically just making sure that you've got everything balanced. If you upgrade your air and you upgrade your exhaust, you upgrade the fuel with it too. But when you do stuff like that, with fuel injection, you kind of want to throw a tuner on it just to make sure that everything stays where it's at, because those motors, when they get up towards like the rev limiter and stuff, they'll actually start retarding the spark. They'll cut the spark on the fuel. So if you start messing with all that stuff, you really want to put a tuner on it, because the tuner's going to make sure everything stays leveled and balanced. I mean, to do it right, you're going to spend probably, if you're going with good quality components all the way around to do fuel, I mean, a good exhaust kit, a good fuel kit, a good air kit, and then a tuner, you're looking at over, plus body and suspension, you're looking at a couple grand. And honestly, with a car that has that low mileage on it, I wouldn't fuck with it. I'd leave it alone, because that car will actually be worth some money. With as old as it is and how little bit of mileage is on it, that car would be a good car to actually flip, and then get something that depends on what brand tuner you get. I know. I think I'd have to ask my brother, because he's really big into the Ford stuff. But he's got a. Yeah, you paid right about what that car is worth, considering its year and the mileage on it, and it being a GT. Yeah, I'd just leave the car alone, honestly. Because once you start modding it, you're just going to decrease the value of it. Now, if you're like me and you don't give a shit, and you just want to have fun with it, I don't care. I'll throw $3,000-$4,000 at the car to get it right, because I don't want to start doing something, half-ass it, and then like, oh, well, why the hell's my car? Why does my car suck? I spent some money on it, and it's not doing anything, or it's not performing the way I want it to. That car, to me, is almost like buying a Cobra or an SVT or a Celine. Those are the cars you don't really want to mess with, because it'll just destroy the value of it. And I got the wind blowing behind me pretty damn good. Cock-a-doodle-doo. That's a good sized fish. I don't want to let him go. Oh, you're coming with me, buddy. Get up here, fatty. That's a crucian. A good sized crucian, too. That would be honestly the best idea, is just to fix the things that need it, but not go crazy. Because that car is going to hold its money the more you keep it stock, and you don't beat it like a redheaded stepchild. If it's seen nothing but easy miles, and it's in really good shape, obviously it's in really good shape. If you guys paid 11 grand for it, I would not mess with that car. I would just leave it alone and make it a nice streeter. Maybe just put some wheels on it or something. This is just the basic little cosmetic things to make it look nicer, but motor-wise, I would not screw with it. Maybe just put some mufflers on it, something simple. Because, I mean, there's a fine line between modding it and holding the value, or just completely destroying the value of it. And that's the problem I'm finding in my car. I don't want one that somebody's already modded to hell and back, and I'm going to have to spend a lot extra money undoing what they did to get the car the way I want it. Oh, we're going to have something on that pole, unless that's the wind. I think that was just the freaking wind. No, I can't be the wind. No, I knew it wasn't the wind. As soon as I saw that line go to the left, I knew that was not the wind. And whatever it was, he got the fuck off my... Yep. You jerk fish. Put some bloodworms on. And it looks fairly okay. See, mine, I want to do an airbag kit on mine so I can really lower that car down when it needs to be. This wind is not helping me at all. Oh, come on, go over to this rod. Grab it, grab it, grab it. And we got one on our feeder rod too. Basically, any of the Mustangs from, I think it's 78 to 04 are built off of the Fox platform. See, bagging is going to be pretty expensive. For the kit I was looking at, it was right around 1,500 bucks. But that's a that's not one of the ones where it looks like those little corny, or those idiots that camber the hell out of their cars. My wheels would still sit semi-straight when it was sitting on almost frame in a parking lot. But I want the airbags just so I can raise and lower the car where I want it. The Mustangs are known to be a little floaty because they do kind of sit a little high. But the Fox body, when I say Fox body, I'm usually referring to an 8292 or 8293, the square body. Those ones weren't as bad as like the SN95s being the 94 to 04 or 93 to 04s. Those ones right there were floaty as hell. That's Chinese Sleeper. Why do you keep telling me bait is not chosen? I'm gonna get some bait here soon. I'll just start fishing with just dough balls. And once again, I think a fish has taken that out. Oh, we're gonna have some action here on the feeder. We do. When you get into the lowering aspect, that's where you really get what you pay for. If you, ooh, I caught a perch, nice. If you buy a cheap lowering kit, you're gonna get a cheap result out of it. The suspension is one area that I would definitely not skimp out on. Especially with those cars. The suspension is very important. Well, I got something really bending the hell out of that other one. Yep. Switch rods, hurry up. Get him in. Oh, you jerk. There's something on here. How many fish got away? The hell was it? Fish got away my ass or something on that. Little Chinese sleeper. Go. No, never go cheap on the suspension. If you're gonna do lowering springs, make sure you buy good ones. Like for the new edges, that would be like SVEs or IBOC. Oh boy, didn't even know we had a fish on this one. That's a gibble. Unless my line went that way on purpose, that was not out there. Now, hold on a second. What if I wanted to keep your ass muted?
How you doing?
I'm over level 11 now.
Oops, I need to stream. There we go.
I've got 46 fish.
46, not doing too bad then.
No. I've got a shit ton of dough balls too. Problem is right now I got the wind blowing at my back. Actually, no, I don't think it is anymore. It was earlier. It's kind of blowing east to west, or northeast, southwest.
Okay. Normally, what you want to do in that situation is, the wind's actually blowing from almost your back, so
yeah,
you technically really want to be on that opposite shoreline from where you are.
That's what I was figuring.
Or be fishing. Get your lines over in there if you can.
Yeah.
Because the wind is pushing all your algae and bait towards that shore.
Yep.
The fish are going to go over there for it. How are you on ground bait?
0. Haven't had ground bait in a while.
You want some?
Sure.
Give me a minute to log back in. I'm logged out of the game right now. I've got so much ground bait, it's not even funny.
Well, yeah, because you were doing that to get your skills up.
Oh, that patch made it so much nicer to log into the game without having to hear that noise.
Is that why I didn't hear the fish thing during that?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
It's because we have our music level turned off.
Oh, yeah, so that cuts the music to all that.
That cuts the music level in game off.
Nice. Now, technically, to run any, well, fuck hell, I don't know if any of my other games, do I have to re-enable this around, or can I leave it broken?
What do you mean?
Like if I want to do anything other than iRacing?
If you only play on one window, no, leave it broken.
Yeah, I only play on one monitor.
Yeah, leave it broken. You don't need surround other than iRacing then.
Well, son of a bitch, I didn't think I can get to this side of the pond. I thought those trees were screwing me. Idiot. Let's see, smoother ride, I'd probably say a good set of progressive lowering springs that are fully adjustable.
Oh, you're talking shop and fishing.
Oh, yeah.
All right. What was? Oh, yeah. I was gonna send you some bait.
I talk cars all the time. Bitch.
Hey, where the heck are you? It only says you're level 10, but
I finally made it to 11.
I know. I'm saying in game.
Yeah.
It's slow. You want probably want to give you just a Crucian and Persian mix.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got bread coming out of my asshole here.
Well, it should be helping you level up your bait skills.
It's only at 6.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Oh, yeah, I know. Nothing on this game is easy, which is what I like.
No, it doesn't start getting easier until you get up in the higher levels. But then it's still not easy because they put the point spread between levels so far apart.
Yep.
Which, makes you really want to just keep playing forever and ever.
Yeah. That's why this is a total time loser. Apparently it's
Stephanie
not.
Schultz has left the server.
Bye, Seth.
Grab all 3 of them.
Yeah. Boing. That bounce is even worse with the bank there. Uh-oh. That's not good.
What happened?
I'm kind of, possibly a little screwed right now.
You got a big fish on, or are you snagged?
No, I'm stuck. I walked off the bank. And it's got me down here.
Oh,
Yeah.
I watched it. You just dropped in a hole.
Yep. And now I can't go anywhere.
Yeah, unfortunately, you have to Alt F4 out of that situation.
Ah! Damn
It
it.
happens.
I'm not going to lose.
There's very few spots. Oh, you won't lose anything.
Oh, I'm fine with that then.
You'll keep all your fish and everything.
Load.
Medic wanted that lure.
Oh God, I will personally find you and beat you if you put Lambo doors on a Mustang.
It just sounds gay.
It is on any car unless it's a Lambo. If you're gonna put Lambo doors on it, you might as well put like 34-inch rims on it too.
Now we're getting even gayer.
Well, no, that just goes perfect with Lambo doors.
I know, but are we talking on a Mustang?
Yeah, on a 87, a Fox body.
No. No, you don't put Lambo doors on a Fox body.
Exactly.
What are you, fucking crazy?
Yeah, you don't put Lambo doors on anything but a Lambo. Ooh, $14.88. I'm rich. I'm over 100.
I haven't even seen you join in yet. There it goes.
Sell the fishies. Why is it good at not responding? There we go. 47 fish. I got 1488 for those. Believe it or not, though, the sad thing is I've actually seen a fox body with Lambo doors. You remember how in Need for Speed, one of them had the
Yeah.
hoods that would open up from the center?
Yep.
Saw one of those. It was the most terrible thing I've ever seen in my life.
Now
Well,
that's another good spot to fish right there where you just walked.
Beaver
Right
Island?
off that little wood. No, right off the little bridge. I'm sorry, your stream's way ahead of where I'm.
Oh, really? That bridge?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it is pretty far behind.
Yeah, because you're just getting to the little pond right now.
I just turned around. I'm already at the freaking bridge. Ow, I actually stuck in a bush, but yeah, I'm standing on the bridge now.
No, you're walking back to the bridge now.
Oh no.
I've got a delay in my stream too.
Oh,
but it's
I know.
Not that big.
I know YouTube has at least a 30-second delay. Yeah, because I was stuck in that about 30 seconds ago. Now what? Do some spin fishing over this, or
Nope, float.
really?
Yep. What the heck is super chat?
Super chat is when people donate money.
Oh,
It gives them like superpower. I'm gonna have to save for some new freaking better float rods.
still fishing with that bamboo.
Yeah.
Casters. We had a lot of casting rods. Holy cow! Yeah, 1, 2, 3 broken rods.
Why does that not surprise me?
I don't know if you can use that one.
I don't know when the hell I would catch something sitting here. It's like I'm hanging my bobber.
Is that the only rod you have?
No.
Set it down and throw another one out.
It might help too if I fucking increase my leader to where it's supposed to be.
That helps too. I just forwarded all my viewers
Yeah,
over.
it's locked.
Is it locked?
Yep, that new Bolognese rod. Fishing with a Bolognese rod ability is required.
So bring up your skills tree under float.
Crap. Let's get two skills. Float. Oh, right there.
How long does it say before it unlocks?
To make this ability available, you need to develop the skill of 35%.
Okay, and what is your percent right now?
28.8.
So you're almost there.
Yeah.
So keep fishing.
Don't stop now. Keep going. Literally, this is the one that
Nope, it's the first one. Fishing with a Bolognese rod. Not the one you're highlighted on. It's the first one right underneath fishing with a telescopic rod.
Yeah, I read the Bolognese one.
Okay.
Have to be at 35%.
I thought it was 30. I thought the Bolognese rod was 30 and the Bolognese rig is 35. But I could be wrong.
Oh, I was the rig. Yeah, it is 30. So I'm literally damn near there.
Couple more skill points.
Oh wait, don't I have one from getting that level?
Yeah, if you haven't used it.
No, I haven't. Invested points, so I want to go to float.
You actually have 2. Go to spin. You're going to want to start spinning soon, right?
Yeah.
Then I'd go to your spin skill tree.
I have nothing in fishing with spins and spinner baits.
Josh has connected.
Definitely want to add one to that.
Josh has left the server.
Okay, so there's one to that.
Um,
Wow, there's a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, this skill tree is the most extensive one. If you put it use on spinning reel, that's going to give that to you across all 3 rods.
I probably need to put one towards the bottom fishing too.
Right, but you only had 2 skill points and you used one in spoons and spinner baits. So if you put the other one in use spinning reel, it doesn't matter which tree you use it on.
Yeah.
But if you use it with spinning reel, that's going to give it to you across all your trees.
Oh, there we go. Wow, that just took bottom fishing up a lot. Oh yeah, look at that. That's cool. Hey look, Fishy has my shit. Get over here, Fishy. That's a pretty long haul up. The hell is he? There he is. A common roach. Really? I didn't know it was drifting with the current. Until it stops and hangs itself.
Have you bought the net yet?
Yeah, I've got it.
Okay.
I got that back when I was still at Mosquito Lake. And it took me about 2 hours to figure out how to use it right. And go ahead, laugh it up.
Can be a pain in the ass at first.
Oh yeah, especially when you've got your rod held up and you're trying to move the freaking net out to get to it, and the fish starts taking off. So you gotta hit space again and freaking reel it back in, and then yeah, that's what sucked.
Is your other rod still in the water?
No, the other rod, it's got like fucking 3 feet of line on it.
Yeah. What are you fishing with right now?
Maggots.
What bait? Maggots.
And I can't drop a rod on the bridge.
Yes, you can.
Well, if I set it on an angle.
Yeah. Did you throw any bait balls in here?
No.
If you could set your rod down, throw 10 bait balls in right around your hook.
Why would I throw them in something that has a drifting current?
Because if it's drifting away from you, throw them just down in front of you. because it creates a 25 by 25 cloud of bait.
Yeah, I know. I'd rather use that in a still area.
I've got tons of bait you can have. Just I'm serious. Try it right there.
I know.
And you're gonna be amazed.
That is the weirdest thing, setting down a freaking rod like that.
Why?
Because magically it just sticks in between there. So you want me to throw them directly straight down, or?
Yeah, throw, just out in front of you a little bit, and make sure you try to hit the same exact spot with all 10.
That'll be fun. No ground bait.
Those here, you're gonna bait that whole stream all the way down.
Looks like I'm playing skee ball.
All you have to do is hit U, right?
No.
Yeah.
Didn't know
that. Once you're done throwing these ones in, I'll show you.
Yeah, they're done. I saw you right there now. So I just baited that whole area.
Cody Franklin has connected.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's a slight current, so it's gonna drift.
Yeah, which means it's gonna go wee all the way down to Beaver
Cody
Island.
Franklin joined your channel.
Who joined our channel?
Cody Franklin.
Russian guy.
Cody. So Mike was giving me a hard time for not giving you free gear and stuff. I did one step better. I get you a invite.
An invite. I'm confused.
Easily done.
Art's gonna be joining the Russian fishing moderation team.
Cool. So, what I got out of that was Mike's giving you some hard now too.
Hard time.
Oh, I thought you was talking about the hard penis. Hope you're streaming.
I am, you dick. I was just about to say, and usually about the fucking 3-hour mark, it usually falls to shit.
Is it 3 hours in?
3.5.
Holy fuck the fucks.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I dropped my stream right around, I don't know when I come in here, about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I'm up to a level 2, almost a level 3.
I'm at 11.
Hey, look at you.
I'm at 22.
Oh, good.
Good for you!
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
I was trying to time it with his. I had a little caffeine today, guys.
Ah, yeah, we couldn't tell.
A little fucking caffeine.
Little my ass.
I had coffee this morning, and I've laid off the damn tea. I'm turning my music down for Russian fishing with my remote control to my TV. Which
there's an update for it. Oh shit! You need to go into your settings and turn the music off.
Oh no! Yeah. I just fucked up. Oh, that's for.
There's an up. Did you get the update for the game?
How do I do that?
When you launch it, it'll update it.
Oh, I think it did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It took a while to launch.
Yeah, because there's an update. But go into your audio settings and turn the music off. That'll stop that when you see the screen with the fish coming across it while it's loading. You won't have that anymore.
Well, you'll still have it. There just won't be any audio to it.
I noticed
That's
the
what
bug.
I
I wanted to tell you about it.
What?
Oh yeah, what'd you find?
I hooked a fish. It was a small fish, and I brought him up, and I'm holding him, and then the fish disappears for like seriously 15 seconds or so, and it's like I'm still trying to find him, but there's nowhere to be found. I'm running around the map trying to bring this fish in, holding the left button down. Literally, I ran around the map trying to get him in.
I've done that.
And finally, boop, there he is. I'm like, fuck, where was he at? Like on the ground?
He was behind you.
Yeah, he's behind you.
Behind you. When you pick some of our rods up,
They fly backwards.
They fly behind you.
Yep.
And in the line, the rod sometimes isn't
In other words, it
strong
does.
enough to flip.
It does exactly what the other unmentioned game did all the time.
Oh, I know which one that is.
Yeah. Remember how it would always fling the fucking lure and shit behind you with the fish on it?
That was
You
Planet
get
of the Apes.
Yeah, Planet of the Apes. You get smacked in the face with the flying fish.
Yeah, sure.
It's
Oh, it's
because-
raining. What the fuck?
Dude, just wait if you get a thunderstorm.
I think it. Can I get struck by lightning?
You can't get struck by lightning,
On my
but
fishing line.
do you have the sound coming through your headset?
Yeah.
Oh god, just wait till the freaking I'm not gonna tell you and ruin it. Just wait if it is a thunderstorm.
If you hear me scream like a little girl.
Oh,
There it is. Dark. It's like 3:19. Can I skip time?
No.
there is not going to be any time skip in this game whatsoever.
How is he
So
always
it's
fucking
picked up
ahead of
the time
me?
Where I left off at?
No, it's an in-game clock. It's a 24-hour clock. It goes on its own time.
What did you say, Art?
Why is he always ahead of me time-wise by like a few minutes?
I'm 3:25, 3:28.
That's not a few minutes. That's quite a bit.
Yeah, that's like 5 freaking minutes.
Because I'm seeing 3:14 on your stream.
It's
Well,
because.
what time are you at right
man.
I can't see your clock because your friggin' YouTube thing is over there.
Alright, what time is it now, Cody?
It is 3:36.
It's 3:30 right now. I'm 6 minutes behind.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because mine's awesome.
Sure.
Oh, you got a new message.
What's up, Outlaw?
Oh, I remember him.
Yeah.
He was like cool. guy.
ATS.
I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
That was a different one. He was the one that did the trucking with us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got messages.
Yeah, that's a good coilover kit for it. It's a pain in the ass to put on the car, but it's a good coilover kit.
Holy shit. Croatian Prussian carp mix.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure my bamboo stick ain't gonna hold that.
That's a bait ball. You throw it in the water.
Right. If I catch a big ass carp, I don't think
You're not gonna catch a dude. I've caught over 1 kilogram fish on that bamboo without breaking it.
Oh, I got a maggot. I'll put that down my pants.
Oh my god.
With my cottage cheese dough ball and garlic dough ball.
Cody's had too much fucking caffeine.
No.
Oh, I'm dumping half of my baits.
Yeah,
over
Alan's been on a freaking bait grinding kick, so he's got like literally freaking military surplus stock of ground baits.
What? What's the very bottom bar?
That's your comfort level.
Oh, it's a red. How do I get comfortable?
The
stand
one with
near
the
fire.
sunshine ray thing?
Is it
Yeah.
because it's raining and it's 7.8 degrees Celsius?
Yep. The other thing you could do is here.
Do I
Get
have
drunk?
a rain jacket?
No, we don't have rain jackets yet. Drink some of that.
Ugh.
Take 2 of these and call me in the morning.
Thermos of tea in Somalia. I mean,
Semolina. Somalia is a freaking country.
Take
Ooh,
a shot
vodka.
of that. Take a shot of that.
moonshine. So I'll drink all this.
No, just take one drink out of each.
No, Cody, drink it all at once.
How do I get inventory? Is that where I drink it at, my inventory?
Press T. Yeah,
T for T?
keyboard will bring up your food menu.
Awesome! Look at that bread looking right there. So, a Jingle Bell lemonade.
What?
Yeah, he gets that. You got that from the store, or not from the store, but from the little house. You should have one too, if you haven't drank it already. You get it from the little.
I must have drank it because all I have is wine, moonshine, and that thermos of mulled wine.
Huh.
I consume moonshine.
Now we're going to have a drunk and caffeinated Cody.
The 3 Tank Troopers Traditional. That sounds good.
Sounds like a good beer.
You should have enough baits to get you started. Should be able to work on building your level character up pretty quick.
This K7 says day 4 of rain, saw.
Say what now?
He's like, day 4 of rain. I guess it's been raining on him for 4 days.
Oh.
I found me a new fishing hole.
Yeah?
You're still at Mosquito Lake, aren't you? Oh yeah. What level is it? Did you unlock a winding rivulet?
Unlock what?
The next one, winding rivulet. You got to go to level 8 so you can get to the lake I'm at, or the waterway. It's a river.
By that time, you're gonna. By that
I'll
time,
be
you're
here
gonna
for
get the next one.
exactly, because I only have to fill this level.
All right, you're not catching anything here. Get out of here.
Stop telling me how to live my life. I'm going back to the.
I do have a question. When should I go to the other rods and reels?
Which one? The spinner?
What do you mean?
Spinners.
Can't do them right off anyway. You got to build your skill level up some before you can do anything.
How do I do that?
By catching fish.
It just automatically builds?
Yep.
Yeah, your float, your
an
spin.
instruction manual to this.
There is one. Hold on.
Ask and you shall receive.
Ooh, I can put 2 baits on there?
When you get high enough level.
Cool.
How did I know I wasn't far enough back?
What do I want to use?
What the hell is this thing saying, "Hey, Alan" at the bottom?
Hey, Alan.
What do you mean?
I posted a link.
What the hell? Yeah, why does it say that?
And
I see it.
I want to use this Somalia.
Semolina!
Somalia!
I don't know why it's saying that after my.
Because it knows
Adjust my
it's
damn
you.
sinker here. Or float. Should really fix that, Alan.
Alright, so now we turn this into the Russian Fishing for Comedy Hour.
What is your problem, Cody?
Life.
I can't complete the task.
Cody needs his helmet.
Oh, I know.
And my crayons. Hey, have you heard that joke?
Yeah.
Alan, have you?
Alan hasn't.
Hey, Alan.
Hey, Mustard, we gotta catch up. Let's go.
Hey, Alan.
What?
The cops got me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they was looking for a badass motherfucker and a retard. They got me, man. So get your helmet and crayons, get the hell out of Dodge.
Oh boy.
You did kind of walk right into that one.
Yeah, I know.
Get over here, you freaking gibble.
So I was out with hanging out with a friend of mine the other night.
Female or male?
Yes.
A male friend with his wife and daughter. I was just visiting.
Ah.
So we decided that we were going to go to the local corn maze and walk through the corn maze.
Why
Oh,
the
shit.
fuck would you do that?
Because it's fun.
I like how you answered it so hostile. Because it's fun!
But anyhow,
I got a monster. Personal record.
so we were walking through the maze. His daughter's like 2. So she's getting around pretty good walking. She can't talk
Because it's fun!
all that much yet. But she says, he looks down at her and says, "Let's go, Mustard. We got to catch up." And
You lost it?
I lost it. So did about 17 other people that were walking through the maze.
Actually, I was thinking about doing a live stream of Farming Sim after this.
Maybe I'll name my next dog Mustard.
I'm gonna bleak.
Come on, fishies. It's raining. I'm wiggling my stick.
My
Where
dog's
you
just
fishing?
name is
Where's
Hey
my
Dumbass,
worm?
come here.
The what?
I said my
where are
dog's
you
name
fishing?
is Hey Dumbass, come here.
Yeah, right.
It is. It's like,
Oh,
Hey
no.
Dumbass.
Ah, I got the wrong rod. Give me that rod. I'm not able to complete. Oh, I got this one underwater too.
Man, this wind is like really whipping.
Oh,
Yeah, I
you
see
fucker!
that.
You hung up.
Hey, what are your coordinates, Cody?
My coordinates. What do I see? 63, 61.
Somewhere between Mountain Dew and holy shit.
Right now I am hung up, bigger than shit.
Like snagged, hung up?
Yeah, a fish had it. They run underneath a log.
I hate that
No.
shit.
So, if it's snagged that bad and you're on one of the beginning rods, Alt F4.
Oh no! I torn it.
Well, then you got to put new line on.
Stupid bamboo rod. It gets hung up all the time. They
One.
don't cast very far either.
He torn it.
Let me go in here, fix my damn rod.
Wow, nothing went wrong with you two.
Oh,
huh?
you're just okay. So you're just to the right side of town.
Mhm.
You're just to the right side of the town dock.
Hell yeah, man. I mean, I cast there and literally I catch fish nonstop. I'm constantly hitting 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I get one off, hit space bar, drop it, get another one as I'm casting it out.
All right. There's another spot.
I have no what? I have no float. Fuck. Back to the bait shop.
Yeah, you're bumming too because I just logged out of my game. Trying to see it here. 40.
Ooh, how do I bottom? I want a bottom fish.
You gotta have a
Right
feeder
around-
rod for that.
Right around 42, 48. There's another nice hole right in there by the reeds.
Alan would know about nice holes.
Do what now?
No, I
40
wouldn't.
40 what?
Manholes.
42, 48,
Yeah.
roughly. It's down left side out of town.
Okay. Okay, now I'm looking at my player information skills.
Okay.
I'm looking at it and it says float fishing, 4%, and then I guess the more you fish.
Yep.
Yeah, you gotta level it up.
Okay. Fishing with a telescopic rod,
Telescopic rod.
using a rig with a fixed line, using a hair rig. Ooh, hair. Ooh.
So
I can make so many
you-
jokes off that.
You should have one skill point to use.
Skill
I
point.
got 2 points.
You got 2 skill points.
Use
Yeah.
them.
Find a place to put them.
Yeah, damn it.
Where should I go with it?
Me personally, I put it on spinning wheels because that's what I like to do. But that's not going to help you right now.
Yeah, I want something to gain me XP. That's what I want.
Well, it's all going to gain you XP.
What gains me faster XP?
82 cents for my fish because they
If I use
suck.
a available point on using a spinning reel, can I use it?
Yeah.
So I can use spinning reel now if I buy it?
No.